It is not too late to delete that TikTok. And if I were you, that is the approach I would take right now. In fact, I would delete all of my social media platforms.
When Amber Rose became a Republican and threw her support around Donald Trump, we thought it was just a financial grift. Here's another IG model that's past her prime, trying to find a new way to make money. But the party switch, as you young folks would call it, was diabolical. Not only did Amber Rose rebrand herself, she made some friends and connections in high places. And one of those people she became friends with is this particular U.S. representative, Paulina Luna. Not only is Paulina Luna a U.S. representative in Florida, she's also a part of a very powerful committee called the Oversight and Accountability Committee. And guess who pulled up on Paulina with some information for Tory Lanez? Amber Rose. And when Amber Rose did that, boy, things started to happen.
So as you stated earlier, that 0.01% of DNA, they actually found 4 people's DNA on that firearm, none of which was Tory's. Not to mention there was 0 fingerprints on the actual magazine. And also, too, as you said, 0.01% chance. I mean, that evidence in itself should pretty much speak for itself.
Paulina started going ham on social media. She started calling out a lot of things about what was going on with Tory Lanez. And she has been dealing with brother Tory Lanez for a long time. She posts this particular tweet here. Just spoke with Tory Lanez from inside prison. Despite being stabbed multiple times, his spirit remains unbroken, and he's deeply grateful for the opportunity to prove his innocence. The question is, will California governor finally review the case and pardon him? She also says, Tory Lanez has filed a direct appeal, a habeas petition, and a successive habeas, all now consolidated by the California Court of Appeals. They have seated a panel. Oral arguments are coming. This case is far from over. Due process matters. She then tweets again. Tory Lanez was sentenced 10 years despite having no prior record, largely due to a firearm enhancement law now under scrutiny for racial bias. Black defendants face a 92% higher rate of this enhancement. That's not justice, that's discrimination. The forensic evidence in Lanez's case was deeply flawed. 0.1% chance his DNA was on the firearm, 0% on the magazines, no fingerprints, DNA from 4 individuals found. Tory wasn't a primary contributor. Key gunshot residue tests never performed on others. This raises serious doubt.
He's right, you know.
Then Representative Paulina Luna brings out another fact.
Also, there's been ring footage that's been obtained that actually disproves the whole dance, Megan. And so what we're seeing is really there was a case of he said, she said. The evidence wasn't actually respected and properly adhered to actually in the trial. And then they also were doing something that I would find pretty wild and egregious. They were actually submitting his lyrics for rap as evidence to the crime.
Now let's go to this whole idea about Tory Lanez being black. Now, she does mention that his lyrics were used against him in the court of law, and this is not really ethical. Basically, it's racial bias because he's a black defendant facing a 92% higher rate of enhancement. This is very interesting that she's bringing this up, but we'll basically get back to that a little later. She also brings this evidence. Newly surfaced body cam and medical records show Megan Thee Stallion initially claimed she stepped on glass. ER records show no bullet fragments on x-rays. Bullet fragments allegedly removed are now missing. Evidence handling was a disaster. Here's another tweet. Under California's Racial Justice Act and recent legislation limiting the use of rap lyrics and character evidence, Tory Lanez deserves a full review. His conviction was built on outdated and unconstitutional grounds. Now, this is interesting. She's using this particular act to justify the fact that, hey, these rap lyrics were basically not supposed to be in there. Now, she also says this: key witnesses change their stories or contradict themselves. One admitted in court she lied in a DA interview. Another gave a sworn statement that Harris admitted to firing the gun. This case deserves fresh eyes and full of transparency. Now, whenever these things come out, it appears that Meg Thee Stallion starts to have crash outs.
Imagine y'all saying somebody is following the street code, not snitching. Are you snitching or are you not snitching? Because y'all trying to pretend like Kelsey shot me. Kelsey didn't shoot me. And I really wonder why her main problem with me was, you won't tell people I didn't shoot you. I was like, Kelsey, I don't want to talk about this on social media at all. But now you won't even get online and defend yourself. So that really just proves my points. Either you took some money or your life is in danger. Like, why won't you get online and say, because this is what y'all care about. Y'all care about online. Because the case, if you say you didn't shoot me, why won't you get on the stand and say I didn't shoot this? You say it online every day. You figure out how to get your say you didn't do it. You figure out how to get the blogs to say you didn't do it. But the one would have mattered from was you. You should have said, I didn't do it. Kelsey did it. If she did it, why wouldn't you just say she did it? Kelsey, if you did not do it, why won't you just say, I did not do it? I know who shot me. I said who shot me, and that's why you in jail. Y'all motherfuckers are dragging it online like it's some new evidence. There's no new evidence. Witnesses went missing. Why? I wonder why the witnesses went missing. Did y'all pay them? Why y'all showing up now? Why y'all showing up? It's about to be 2024. Y'all still with me. Y'all still with me. Why? Because y'all see me moving on and doing better. Y'all see me trying to heal and trying to grow. But y'all keep trying to bring me back this way when I'm trying to go this way.
Now, this clip may have circulated some time ago, but it's basically the same things that she's saying now. Now, remember, her and Kelsey are not cool. And the reason why Kelsey probably doesn't want to speak up for herself or even for Meg Thee Stallion is, well, Meg Thee Stallion slept with her at the time boyfriend behind her back. And so now Meg Thee Stallion somehow forgot that. And she's like, well, so Kelsey, why you don't want to speak up for me? Well, because you were getting your cheeks clapped and then you lied about it. So of course, she don't want to help your ass now and you're mad.
You mad.
So then the question is this.
Maybe they didn't make the case the right way with the weapon, but who did it?
You know, Chris, that's not for me to weigh in, and that's definitely for the judge and the jury. But what I will tell you is based on the evidence that we have, says that he wasn't the guy.
She then says, Tory Lanez's conviction and sentencing raises major constitutional concerns. First Amendment, use of lyrics as evidence. Sixth Amendment, right to confrontation. 14th Amendment, equal protection under racially biased enhancements. These issues demand urgent review. She also says, justice isn't served when due process is ignored. Evidence is mishandled and race plays a role in sentencing. Tory Lanez deserves a fair hearing, and if justice prevails, he deserves his freedom. Free Tory Lanez. Now, there is an attorney that has broken this down. Shout out to her. Her name is Always and Danae. She's also going to bring out some situations as to what Tory Lanez was charged with.
The evidence that Tory's team is claiming they have is something called exculpatory evidence. Exculpatory evidence is evidence that may prove a defendant's innocence. But simply having that evidence doesn't mean things change. You have to prove to the court that that would change the outcome of the case. Now, Tory was charged with assault of a semi-automatic weapon or firearm, possession of an unregistered firearm, and negligence in discharging said firearm. That means the evidence that they have would have to change the fact that he would get convicted of those things.
Now, what is also interesting is the evidence that, according to the case, that California or the prosecutors found.
Now, I'm going to quickly remind you of the evidence that they used in the trial. The prosecution relied on text messages from Kelsey that night that said Tory shot Meg. Text messages from Tory apologizing to Meg. Audio from the jail of Tory apologizing again. Medical records and x-rays showing that there was bullet fragments in Meg's foot. Testimony of several different witnesses. We know that Meg, Kelsey, police officers testified, but there was also a neighbor or someone that was in the area that witnessed the incident.
So according to this particular attorney, there was a Tory Lanez audio from jail. There was the apology to Meg. There was also text messages from Kelsey, okay? This is different than what the representative is saying. But her last tweet says this: Tory Lanez's defense was denied full access to DNA evidence. Entire samples were used up by the prosecution before defense testing. Reports weren't shared until just before trial. That's a violation of due process. So this is interesting that the Oversight and Accountability has taken this up, and this lady is a up and young coming Republican. And that's another point that I want to get into. A lot of the Democrats, or let's say black liberals, I think that many cases they have taken the side of Meg Thee Stallion. And this is interesting that you have a person, Anna Paulina, okay, this lady taking this up. Republican, a Trump supporter, like I said, somebody who's even using racial bias. This is something that Republicans typically don't do. And I think this sends some level of a signal to, future black male voters, because you're just not seeing a lot of the black politicians come into his defense. None of the Democratic politicians come in for his defense. You see the Republicans in this particular case, unless I'm mistaken, coming to the defense, because I believe so many black women believe that Tory Lanez actually did it. We also know that Megan Thee Stallion was performing for Kamala Harris, supporting her. So there we are with that. And so does this send a particular message to black male voters hey, listen, for false charges against black men, here are the Republicans standing up in the gap for African-American men when we are not getting that sort of support from the left? What is good? Is this going to be a future situation that black men can depend on in the future? I don't know. But if he's able to overturn this and this lady is behind it, a lot of black men are going to look at this situation very, very differently. Okay. And again, I can say it again, very, very differently. It's going to mean a lot to a lot of brothers out there that here you have, again, a Hispanic Republican lady that was able to help a black man out when black Democrats basically were willing to let a black man stay in jail for a crime that he didn't do. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.